My Star Wars story started first when I saw Star Wars.
Just fell in love straight away.
It's just something that we all enjoy.
Star Wars is just worldwide loved because of the diversity it provides.
And you have the whole fantasy of it, a galaxy far, far away, and you can relate to it here.
It sort of connects us. It's a sort of a genetic love for Star Wars that's gone from my dad to me, to my kids.
A friend of mine had the TIE Fighter, the big one. Just toys and toys and toys, and just memories of playing with them.
Que eu sou velha porque eu assisti o primeiro Star Wars no cinema.
I remember it specifically because like the whole world changed and all the kids were talking about it at school, and I was begging my father to please go see it.
I just got fascinated with the storyline and the good over the evil, and that's how it continued into our lives.
Star Wars acho que foi a primeira vez que tipo, ok, vamos ver esse filme que as duas são muito fãs e não tipo, vamos acompanhar outra só.
It'll always be a classic. It's one of those immortal film series.
So many different characters and people can just easily identify with them.
I grew up very poor, so there was nothing to smile about. But when I was watching Star Wars, that was my joy.
When you create that imaginary world, it becomes a place where you can hide away into over the weekend or at night. Anyone who watches very carefully will find themselves in Star Wars.
Everybody can be anything. I mean, there's a princess that becomes a general, there's a young boy that becomes a Jedi, there's a smuggler that becomes a war hero. It doesn't matter where you come from, and it doesn't matter what your family is, because family bonds will just form somehow.
They risk their lives together to stop the dark. And I know if it were life or death with my family, I would join them and stop the dark with them.
The lifestyle of the Jedi is what a Sikh is also, looking after his community, his friends, his family, his neighborhood.
I truly believe that there is a force, not just through the movie. The force is nothing but the energy.
One of the biggest lessons I've learned from Star Wars to help me get through life was in darkness, you'll always find light.
Star Wars is very special to us because I grew up in the back end of the party. As we watched each episode of Star Wars, we saw parallels in the story and our lives. And no matter how difficult things get, we stick together as a family.
For me, unfortunately, it's about loss. In reading the book Rogue One with my son, Jin loses her mum at a very early age, and Jin's aware of seeing her mum die. That happened with my son. By just talking about Rogue One, we can talk openly about death and about loss.
I kind of remember the quote that Luke says to Leia, that no one's ever really gone. As long as we keep her in our memory, she'll always be here.
Favorite character, difficult one.
I think Mace Windu, just because he's just a total badass.
I love them all.
Kylo Ren and Anakin, they've struggled with the light side and the dark side and like teetering between the two.
El personaje favorito mío siempre ha sido Arturito.
Chewbacca, just because he's awesome.
A Rey, e principalmente nos últimos Jedi também.
Ewoks, because they're cute.
My favorite character is Darth Vader.
I like his style, dark capes, the heavy breathing.
To some extent, I feel like Obi-Wan doesn't treat him very well. And then I think it's Obi-Wan's fault that he turned to the dark side.
一番好きなキャラクターは、賞金稼ぎのジャンゴフェットで。
My favorite character is definitely Princess Leia, because she's such a strong woman. I just wanted to be like her. I just wanted to be that strong.
E ela foi a minha primeira herói.
As a kid, I always thought that Luke Skywalker was the coolest.
It's like you have your different characters at your different ages that you look to. Han Solo for me because he was just so cool in 1977. Then moving over to Boba Fett because when you're in your 20s you want to be badass, and you know. And then you see Chirrut, and he's who I think a reflection of who I want to be now, is having those ideals, the peacefulness, the mindfulness.
How do you feel about the Skywalker saga coming to an end?
Well, it's kind of sad to know that it's going to be the last one.
I don't know how I'm going to handle it.
Nervous, anxious, and just interested in finding out how they can tie it all together.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Carrie Fisher on screen again, and one last time.
Controversy between Kylo Ren and Rey as well. What's going to happen in there? I'm not sure.
I want to see what JJ does, because JJ likes to break rules. He's a bit of a rebel. I like that.
I want something epic.